So 2024 could be a big year for IPOs. What do you see happening, or what are some of the names that investors should look for?
So when rates have gone straight up for the last few years, nobody wanted to bring an IPO to market because you can't really understand what's going to happen for the next 6 months and the next 12 months, so people don't want to commit capital, right? Now, whether rates go up a little bit from here or down a little bit, who knows? It depends. I don't think anything's going to happen between now and the election. So I think that gives an opportunity and a window for big banks like Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan to take some of these great unicorns and to unleash them and actually bring them into the market. You look at some of the bigger names like Databricks, they're about a $43 billion company in the AI space, automation anywhere, Anduril, doing AI for drones. I mean, these are really compelling stories that people would like to invest in, and it's much easier to invest into them if they are a publicly traded company. And then you have the major unicorn in the room, which is Elon Musk and SpaceX, and there's a pretty high probability, in my opinion, that he's going to spin out Starlink, and most people don't even realize Starlink is actually 60% of the value of SpaceX. So Starlink alone, based on SpaceX most recent round was 180 billion, right? Starlink alone would be more than $100 billion IPO. I think people might have an interest in that.
Yeah, would you be a buyer of Starlink?
I would be a buyer of SpaceX. I actually am a shareholder, and so are a lot of my clients of SpaceX in the private market.
Interesting. So you mentioned the Fed. When do you think a rate cut's going to happen?
I don't think you're going to have a rate cut before the election. You have a meeting coming up quite soon, right around the time of the conventions, the political conventions, right? Then the thought was a few weeks ago, before the CPI number came out last week, that they would have one cut and be done into the election. I don't think they can do that, and I think with the problem in the Middle East right now, people get a little worried about the price of oil too, and they don't want to cut rates, then all of a sudden have inflation come into the marketplace. I don't think they're going to cut rates anytime soon. If it was me, I would say you probably have a higher probability of a rate hike than a cut, but I don't think they're going to do that either. And if they do a cut or a hike, it'll be after the election. I think it'll be just status quo for now.
Yeah, you mentioned there's like 2 wars going on. There's inflation. There's a presidential election. There's a lot of stuff floating around out there. It could be really interesting moving forward.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching. Check out more at qz.com.